Well, hello everybody, and it's great to see you all. Oh, look at you all there. It's wonderful to see you all. I'm going to see is Lyndon here, and I will invite him on the screen. But before I do and introduce him, I just want to say hello to everyone who's just joined us. We have 20 people registered for this, which is brilliant. And the reason I'm interviewing Lyndon is because he's super cool, super quirky. He's the CEO and founder of the Morehouse and constructaquote.com. He's a founder, chairman, CEO, investor, author, columnist. He's cool, actually, an advisor to businesses and a mentor to mentors. And really, I'm going to introduce him the proper way, which is he's an alien business junkie, constantly evolving, observing and adapting, a futurist, a realist who sees beyond the ego and fog like that, a pure, multi-skilled growth strategist. Did you get all that? Good evening, Debbie. Good evening, Michelle. Good evening, Francis. I'm going to invite Lyndon on screen and let you meet him for yourselves. And Lyndon, come on screen and everyone say hello to Lyndon Wood. He's coming on. I've just invited him on screen. This is his first time coming on this, okay? So just bear with us. Lyndon, we're dying to see you. So everybody's just joining still. So there's a few people still have to join. But I present Lyndon Wood.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Sam.
Hello. Hi. I can hear you okay. Can everyone hear us okay? It's Lyndon, Debbie. Hi, Lyndon. You've got comments coming up and there's James. Hi, James. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Michelle, Roisin. There's loads of people here. Yeah. So, Lyndon, what did you say?
I said great stuff. Can everybody hear?
Yes, we can. Tim is here as well. Hi, Tim. Lovely to see you here. Jackie's here. I can see all the people who have joined. Geraldine's here. Lovely to see you, Geraldine, and James as well. So, yeah, Lyndon, a lot of people don't know who you are. So do you want to tell us, who is Lyndon Wood?
Well, I can give you the short version or the long version. The short version is I'm just a guy in business. All right. There's certain things I don't like, and that's the word entrepreneur. You probably know that anyway, Sam. It's a word somebody calls you, you don't call yourself, in my opinion. Yeah, so I'm just a guy in business, started at 19, grew my insurance entity, now 27 years come August, invested in retail, manufacturing, recruitment, private doctors, lots of other publishing, leisure, lots of other things. And just sort of learned and absorbed all of that information and knowledge, which gives me my intuition and experience to share what I've learned.
Yeah, and I can see, and actually you look very well, Lyndon, I have to say. I know you've been doing other things to help your mind and develop your mind and stuff as well. So we go into that a little bit maybe later as well. Yeah. But definitely, Lyndon, I know this from experience because I actually worked with Lyndon for a while, and Lyndon doesn't like, what's the word? I don't know the correct word to say it without saying bad language, but you don't like crap, basically. You like real people, you like being real, you don't like anyone who just like the ego, all that kind of stuff. And I like that about you, Lyndon, and that's the reason I'm interviewing you, because I wanted people to meet a real person who really is just a person who started business and just wanted to do well. Would that be right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you know, I started my company when I was 19 with £14,000 in debt. Mortgage interest rates were sort of 15%. Here's the sob story bit, from sleeping in the car to getting off your ass and doing something about it. And sort of say never look back. You get lots of peaks and troughs in business. You're wrong to say you didn't. And you know, you get quite a few failures, but your successes outweigh your sort of failures anyway, and here I am.
And tell me, Lyndon, you know, we're going to get the three top business mistakes, people that make the mistakes that businesses make, because we have a lot of people here in the room who I'm sure like they have their own businesses that maybe just starting out, some of them, but some of them are actually have developed a bit further, and some are really successful as well, as I can see some of the people in the room. So I suppose the main thing I'd like to know is, you know, like I know you have a great quote, and I love this quote. Why spend your whole life trying to fit in when you're born to stand out?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's a great quote. Give us one more just to inspire us before we go on.
One more, come on. Speed beats perfection.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just do it.
That's it.
Yeah, I have to say, I like that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, speed beats perfection. Far too many people wait for perfection, and they never get to market. And that's typical of software developers, for example. Or when you build, or when you're developing a website, you wait for the perfection, and you just never get to market because perfection doesn't exist. You sort of get 80% there, and then sort of tweak and refine as you go.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. I think I do that. And I've learned a lot from you, Lyndon, as well. And the most important thing that I've learned, I think, from Lyndon was he was kind of a mentor, really, but he didn't realize it at the time. But you know, I find and a lot of people, people are loving your comments, by the way, in the comments there, if you want to have a look. But you know, people often hear me saying that it's really important to assist one another, share your knowledge, assist others, share your knowledge, and you know, be the best. And they're similar things to what you would talk about. That would be your main kind of thing as well, wouldn't it? Helping others as well.
I love to share my knowledge, and I do it freely for a lot of businesses, particularly small businesses. Advanced businesses I'll charge, but small businesses, you know, it's hard graft, it's a tough gig, and I'm more than happy to give time and information, and that's why I set up Twitter, to share wisdom, knowledge, a bit of philosophy mixed in, you know, to help people grow and get from that sort of rut and that one-man band or one-woman band status, you know.
Yeah, and I think that, Lyndon, you've been there, you see. Do you think that's why you're like that? Because I'm a bit like that, because I've been there. Like you were saying, you had to sleep in your car. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, you know, you end up with nowhere to live at 18, you know, for one reason or another, family circumstances, etc. Middle of winter, -4 degrees, I remember, because it was on the radio, I think, and I had a rust bucket of a car. It leaked with this freezing rain. And I was in a damp sleeping bag, you know, 3:30 in the morning, and I'm not ashamed to say this, but I wanted to pee, and it was that cold I couldn't get out, so I peed the sleeping bag.
Oh my God! Oh, that's awful! Isn't that a horrible place to be? And you got out of that though, and you what was that kind of a driving force for you, saying, do you know what, I'm never going to do this again?
You know what? I can't even remember what was the driving force. To be fair, it just sort of, I don't know, it's just an instinct, just an inner thing. It was never a conscious thought. It was never a, oh my God, I'm sleeping in the car, I better do something.
Yeah.
It was sort of, it's almost instinct, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, look, we're going to get straight into our top, like, what would you say would be the biggest mistake that you see most of the time when you're dealing with small business owners and you see people starting businesses? Like, I remember you once saying to me, actually, I was saying, oh yeah, it's my business and blah, 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 blah. And then you were like, are you making money yet? I remember you saying that. And I was like, I was like, and then I couldn't answer you. And you just looked at me. But,
yeah,
you know, like some little nuggets like that would really be nice for people to hear. So is there anything kind of that you see, very common mistake that people make?
Oh, there's loads. I could talk probably for almost a week on this sort of subject, but the most common is realizing that when you have a passion and you set up a business, whether you're selling, you know, phones, mugs, or doing knitting, it doesn't really matter. You've got to realize that you are a sales and marketing business. And it's the number one thing people really, really forget. You know, and by the way, I'm not selling anything here. I'm just doing this out of politeness, and I like to share. So they forget that they're sales and marketing businesses. And so many people get wrapped up in, I don't know, buying the desk or doing some admin work, and they get a buzz and they think they're being active and they're doing, sort of running their business, but they're just shuffling paperwork and rubbish. You know, you are a sales and marketing business. So embrace everything there is to do with sales and marketing. You know, that's number one, because without that, you haven't got a business. Hence, my observation to you, Sam, are you making money yet? Because if you're not, you're just rushing around pretending.
Excellent, lovely. I love it. I love it. I'm just looking at, has anyone any questions as well? We're going to have a look at questions soon as well later. So that's lovely. That's number one tip is, okay, I love that one. So sales and marketing is really important. Okay, and what else would you find?
Yep, mentors. I've got a big bee in my bonnet about mentors. It's an overused term. Lots of people have jumped on the bandwagon of mentors, and just because they've been a bank manager or they've got a business degree or something, or they've been a chief exec of some corporate entity, doesn't make them a mentor. So from a business perspective, it's important that you select the right kind of mentor, and don't be scared to ask them questions. Put them under the cosh a bit. You know, ask them what they've been involved with. What have they done? Have they grown a business? Have they been involved in a business from the root, the basis of it? You know, not got involved with the business once it's got, you know, 300 people and it's multi-millions already. Have you grown a business? Do you know what it feels like to have nothing, and then when you get 100 quid in the door, what do you do with that 100 quid? Do you know what I mean? Do they know what to do? So the word mentor really grinds me, because there's so many bad mentors, and they give the advice at the wrong stage for your business. But a lot of people don't realize it because they're new in business. And when you get that advice from a mentor, it can be from a startup, intermediate, or advanced stage. And a lot of mentors are giving the advanced advice because it's in their theory book at university or something, and you're not ready for it as a business. But you will try and implement it and fail and spend months doing so, and probably pay a mentor. So mentors are the, you know, got real big beamer bonnet about that.
So would you like, okay, but everyone's always told, get a mentor, get a mentor. So I suppose for what I often say, Lyndon, is, you know, get someone that you kind of click with or that you identify with, but at the same time, do they have something that you want, that you like? It's kind of like the power of attraction. Are you attracted to this person? I don't mean physically, like sexually or anything. I mean, are you attracted to this person? Do they have what you want? That kind of thing. But also they need to have been there and done something and succeeded, so that you know that you have a chance at least because they've been there.
No, absolutely. I mean, anyone that is in business now and has been in business for a short while, you'll understand that it's a feeling. And, you know, you don't think, you actually feel your business. And if no one has experienced that feeling that you feel, then it's hard for them to really advise you on it. They can throw things out there and throw ideas and throw challenges out there to make you think. But I've met probably 2, maybe 3 good mentors, and I've met hundreds of people, and half of them call themselves mentors.
Okay.
So make sure they know the subject. And I've said before, but quite often a business needs more than one mentor, because quite often a mentor has a certain skill set. It might be sales and marketing, it might be around the finance, it might be around, I don't know, product design or something. And quite often you need several to advise you on all of those subjects. What you get is an accountant going out as a mentor and trying to advise you on sales and marketing or product design. They haven't got a bloody clue.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Oh my gosh, yeah. So you could have like someone advising, an accountant advising you, and then like advising you on social media. Like
totally. And you must have seen it, Sam. You must have seen these kind of people. You know, and it's wrong. We should step back and say, I'm a numbers person. I can advise you and help you, mentor you on how to understand numbers, balance sheets, how to raise capital, how to deploy capital even. But I can't advise you on your social media. But they try, and that's where they get it wrong.
Yeah, very good, excellent. And Elaine has just said, I've always had at least 3 mentors in my businesses over the years. Michelle has asked, what's your Twitter handle? So I just threw the Twitter handle in there. It's at LyndonX. And Marie is saying, feel free to share on social media, folks, with the share button. Thank you, Marie. Marie is great. She's on my team. Do you have a mentor, Lyndon? There's a question.
No.
Debbie just asked that.
Go to that website later if you want. No, I don't have a mentor. I've never had a mentor. I don't read books. I've never read a book. I've written one, never read one. I like to be authentic, so I go on feeling and experiences throughout my entire life. And you know, sometimes it can be the hard route and the longer route, but I like to be authentic. So, you know, 99% of what I may tweet or what I may share comes from experience. It comes from within, not from a book. I don't mimic or copy other people. It's me. Okay. Yeah,
and I remember actually when I went I did an interview with Lyndon, and I got on a plane, and I ended up in this airport in where was I? Cardiff? Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah. And this plane with propellers, I might add, everybody. But anyway, got there and picked me up in this big posh car, and can't remember, was it a Bentley? Something? Well, I can't remember what it was.
Was
I don't know. I don't know anything about cars. It was a nice car. And I remember thinking, oh my God, like, you know, my qualifications, but you didn't, Lyndon. People buy from people. And I think it was me. It was the personality. You had a chat mean, and you know, and I know that you have a few stories like that. I think there was a guy in McDonald's or something that gave you a CV or so. I can't remember that story, but there's a guy that you hired that worked in warehouse or constructor quote. Is that right? Was there some guy that you hired?
Yeah.
Gave your wife the CV or something, and now he's working for you. And you see those things, like, and I like this about Lyndon, like he goes, it's not about the big CV and the paper and the certificates, it's more about the feeling that you go with, you know. And obviously you thought I was absolutely wonderful, so you decided to take me on, or you just wanted a challenge.
No, well, you know, it's always a challenge with you, Sam, isn't it? But but you can't beat enthusiasm. You know, if someone is enthusiastic, and I know there's a chap watching that works in the sunzoo.com business, you know, super enthusiastic, you know, and you can't beat enthusiasm because when someone's
passion,
passion, when they want to do a good job, it makes life a lot easier because they're open to learning. So enthusiasm and energy, raw energy, and you've got an abundance of that, Sam, you know. It's just raw energy. You need that. You do need it.
Yeah. Absolutely, I agree, and I would look for the same in people myself. And okay, so number 3, the third. So we had the sales and marketing is really important. Be careful of the mentor that you choose, and make sure that you know they know what they're talking about. And number 3, the third business mistake that business owners make that you've noticed.
Yeah, not knowing where your profit comes from. All right, so here's the cycle. You're excited, you launch your business. You're selling, I don't know, and I might have used something similar before, but you're selling coffee cups. And you start selling coffee cups and you're finding it a bit hard and a bit tough. So you introduce saucers and you're finding that a bit hard, a bit tough. So you introduce plates and then other things and other things and other things. And now what you've done is actually dilute your resources. And as a startup or intermediate business or even a large business advanced, you know, you've diluted your resources across several product ranges. All right, now you have to have the capital to market those product ranges or market those services, and that's not just capital in pounds or euros, it's actually capital in terms of human resources. All right, so you've diluted it, and then you become, the cliche saying, a jack of all trades, master of none. Okay, so you have to understand where your profit comes from, and if your profit comes from the cup, then you need to put all of your capital, all of your resources, both financial and human, into selling more cups. Okay? Because by diluting and getting excited about your business and telling people, oh, I've got all these products, all these services, and I've got 5 companies, and you know, I've been there, I've done all of this. Do you know what I mean? It's just an ego trip. It comes down to pounds, shillings, and pence.
Excellent. So I just typed in that third one in. Yeah.
So many businesses do not know where they're making money. You just don't know it.
That's brilliant. And you know what? I'm actually just going to ask. So we have the 3. Oh, that's really important. Where is the profit coming from? And I would be guilty of that myself, I will admit. Running around, you know, razzle dazzle. Yeah, I love all the razzle dazzle, as you know. And then I'm going, hang on a minute. You know, the thing that's actually making me money here and that's paying my bills is actually what I should be concentrating on. You know, and I was being distracted, you know, in different tangents and stuff. So, you know, and I had to come back and get more. Jackie is saying, would you say to specialize is a good thing, Lyndon? Specializing is always good because it keeps you laser focused, and it goes back to what I just said about launching various products or services.
It keeps you laser focused on a particular market. However, when you specialize, you have to make sure the market is big enough. All right, you don't want to make it too narrow, but make sure the market is big enough. So specialization is absolute key. You know, anything I do is a specialist. You know, and that's how I build my businesses.
And that would be Jackie does calligraphy, so she does, like, you know, if you wanted a fancy, actually he loves tattoos, So, you know, maybe he would be into calligraphy. So, you know, it's an art, isn't it? But, you know, it's like she does calligraphy for, you know, like wedding invitations, you know, the handwritten invitations and stuff like that. So, Jackie, feel free to put your website link. Everybody feel free to put your website link in. Who would like to come on screen and ask Lyndon a question? I'm going to go down. He's getting all excited now because his question's coming. I'm just going to click the questions.
I've got number 4 for you as well, if you want a number 4.
Oh, let's get a number 4, will we? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because we're all greedy people. That's our nature, but it's keeping the money. All right. So when we're a nation of one woman bands, be politically correct, but it's keeping the money. All right. It's too easy when you're small to keep the money that's coming in, and this I see all the time. In fact, today again, and you know, you're not going to grow without employing somebody to help you along the journey. You can be busy, have no life, can't go on holidays because you're trying to keep the money. The only way you're going to grow is by spending some of the money and start employing people. Make your life a bit easier and sort of double up. So don't keep the money.
Okay, so delegate, maybe get a better laptop, get a better headphones or whatever.
Never a laptop, always a salesperson.
Okay, very good. Does anyone want to come on screen and ask Lyndon a question? Because he's here, he's given his time for us. So if you're very welcome. Does anyone want to come on screen? Jackie, do you want to come on? Michelle, Francis? Francis, you have an interesting business I think Lyndon would love. Do you want to come on screen? Maybe I don't know if you're ready. Geraldine, come on. Let's get someone on screen. I'm going to start inviting you on yourself now, if you're not careful. I will. But definitely, Lyndon, is there any way that we could help you today while I'm waiting for someone to say they're coming on screen? Is there anything that we could help you with? Like, would it be like retweeting your tweets, or is there anything particular?
That's always good. You know, follow me on Twitter, retweet my tweets. That's always a good thing. Go to the website I posted earlier, lyndonx.com. Watch some of my videos. No financial gain. It's all there for you to watch.
And you have, what about your book? Can you get your book, Diary of a Fortune Hunter? Is that still?
You can get the book if you want my book. It's also on lyndonx.com. But more importantly, watch the videos. You know, there's a video library there with The Drive, which is quite interesting. I think Fortune Hunter's on there as well with the interviews. You can pick up lots of information from those interviews. Yeah. Okay, great. Right. So if you just throw the link in there first, please, Marie or Lyndon, if you're able to do it. Does anyone want to come on screen before we wrap this up? Because Lyndon has given us time now. He's here. Use it. Use it. Anyone want to come on? Thank you, Marie. That's great. And Lyndon's just put the link in as well. Gertrude. Hi, Gertrude. No questions or I would. Okay, but you'll have to excuse the eyes. I don't mind, Geraldine. Let's get Geraldine on. We don't mind what Geraldine looks like, do we? Nah, go for it.
Sure, look at State of Lyndon, like, it's fine.
Oh, look.
I'm only joking, Lyndon. You're lovely. I love your shirt.
Hair's gone. Business does that to you, doesn't it? Look.
Yeah. I hope not, God. But yeah, guys, they're all putting their links in there for you, Lyndon, just maybe if you want to have a look later. They've all got different types of businesses. Oh, she declined. Okay, Geraldine declined. No problem. Okay, but it doesn't look like we have any questions.
People, be brave.
Come on. Does anyone want to come on? Okay, right. Well, look, Lyndon, look, you've been very kind with your time, and thank you so much. They're all very, very, very shy. Oh, Geraldine said send again. Here we go. Geraldine's coming on now. And just so you know, there's Reese. Who's Reese? Do you know him? Reese, you're very welcome. And James.
I don't know who the hell Reese is.
Well, Reese, you're very welcome. Lisa from Kidsivity is here, and Tim and Francis, and I'm going to invite Geraldine on again.
Reese is from Sun Tzu.
Ah, great. Okay, and James. Oh, James, would you like to come on? James is Irish. He lives in Boston, so I'll try and invite both of you, but I can only invite one.
If Reese is in Boston, it's not the same Reese.
No, James. James is in Boston.
Right.
But I think James is on his way. I've just invited you, James. We'll certainly follow you, Lyndon. Love people who talk from the heart, Francis has said. Any other comments there? Tell them I said thank you, and I would, if you need a face. Phone doesn't support it. Okay, thanks. Yeah, this is only a new platform that I'm using, you see. James is coming now. So James, I know, lives in Boston, and he...
Awesome.
Would love to meet you. So there you go now. And we've 16 people that tuned in, Lyndon, out of 24 registered. That's not bad, you know, with the conversion wise. Hello, James.
How you doing?
Hi, James, a fellow Baldy.
I was laughing. I was laughing when you said that business does this to you.
You're almost a dark version of me.
I'm trying to grow the beard. Hopefully that will help. So look, thanks very much for this afternoon or this evening for you guys, I guess. So for me, you know, as Sam knows, I'm working here in Boston. I'm involved in a fellowship. I've had a number of businesses. I still have a business that's back in Dublin. And I guess what I'm trying to kind of get across is, for a lot of people that I would speak with, one of the key things is, you know, keeping your day-to-day business going, or your day-to-day job, keep that going and making an income, and trying to decide, I suppose, when that sort of side hustle becomes enough to give up what you're currently doing. And I suppose any kind of advice around that, I think, would be useful for me, but also would be quite useful maybe for some people here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the key thing is you have to launch your business whilst, if you've got a full-time job, you've got a mortgage, you've got kids, you've got this stuff going on, you have to, you know, get to market with your idea in your business first, test the market. If people are buying your service or product, then at some point you have to make that leap, because you're not going to grow a business part-time. You know, that's just sort of foolish to think that. You know, you might make some pin money, but if you're serious about growing a business, you have to have that gumption to just jump and do it. And it's easy to say that when you have a mortgage or whatever, but if you accumulate some savings and don't spend the money, I was saying about greed earlier on, if you keep the money and build up a pot, you know, sell on eBay if you want, sell your old clothes. I mean, you know, the internet is fantastic for this sort of stuff these days. Sell what you have, build up a pot, enough for, say, 6 months of earnings, whatever that is and whatever that means in your life, and then make the jump and just full on in there.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's
James.
good. That's good. I mean, look, I've been involved, I suppose, in a few bits, but you know, I kind of took a bit of time out from my current business just because a good opportunity in terms of some research, in terms of fellowship came up. So, you know, and
Right, he's frozen. He's frozen there. You've frozen there, James. If you want to refresh and try and join again, it could be the Wi-Fi over there. Now, Debbie has just asked a question. Maybe try and join again, James, okay? I'll remove from the screen for a moment, okay? Debbie has just asked, should your main aim be to sell your business ultimately, or should you hold on to a piece? Debbie has asked.
You know, if you focus, I've done this with one of my companies before, you know, focusing on selling a business is fundamentally the wrong thing to do, okay? Your focus should always be on being world class, and then the rest takes care of itself. When I was focused on selling a business in the past, it restricts the flow of executing ideas, because you think, well, I'm not going to spend that money right now because I'm going to be selling the business. And truth be told, this went on for 3.5 years with me. And of course, what happened was that particular business didn't grow, didn't evolve. I didn't sell it. And then you're sort of stuck with this business that should have actually grown. But never focus on selling your company. Just be world class.
Excellent. Just be the best. James, I don't know where James went there. Sorry, James. I don't know if you can hear us. Is he here still? I can see who's in the room. So, James, do you want me to invite you back on screen? I will anyway, just in case. Oh, no, he's gone again. Well, there he is again. It could have been his Wi-Fi that left there, but I love that advice you gave him. Doug, would you like to come on? Come on, Doug. I've never actually met you before, so I think we'll.
Hello, Doug.
I'll invite Doug on. Okay, I haven't met him. Doesn't he live in America?
He's in LA or somewhere around there.
Ooh. Oh, here's Doug now. He's accepted and connected. So we can only have 3 on the screen at one time, folks. Okay. Thanks, Doug. You're a star. So Doug is accepted, and here he is.
You're the man himself. How are you, Doug?
Hello. Yeah, it's just, why are you up so late? It's just 1:30 here, and just had lunch, and you can see the sun out my window there.
Yeah, it's last 9 at night.
It's too late.
Well, Doug, it's lovely. It's lovely to see you. We've never actually met. So
pictures on Facebook. Yeah, I've met Lyndon in LA at the Beverly Hilton, and also in London at his club and places. And we seem to be now. Got to meet him in Marbella next, I think.
Well, I'm going there tomorrow.
I think we should have a meetup there, definitely, some kind of meetup or conference in Marbella.
Yeah,
definitely.
We'll do that. We'll diary it for next year because I'm renovating everything at the villa, so we'll do that next year.
Did everybody in the chat hear that? I'm renovating at the villa.
Sounding a bit egotistical, eh?
He's just mad that I sold my place in Vail. We were going to trade the ski vacation for the beach, but I sold that years ago. I don't have it anymore. But I do have something to contribute to the conversation, actually. I think you and I spoke about this before, Lyndon, but I had this classic entrepreneur problem of I didn't know when to let go. I held on and held on and held on and held on, and I just needed to make my business successful. And I would have competitors who'd come on who'd be friends of mine. They'd grow their business and sell it and move on and make all kinds of money. And here I am holding on to a dead business. It wasn't dead. I made a good living at it, but it never really grew. I wasn't a salesman. And so many times I look back now and say, if I'd have sold that or gotten out of it and just had the guts to do something different. But sometimes entrepreneurs are so in love with their own idea, it's hard to give up. I wonder if you have any suggestions on what are the parameters that let you come up with that?
We'll get passionate about it. You know, and the key.
Sorry, can you, 1 second. One second. Doug, can you lower your laptop because we're getting feedback from Lyndon on your laptop to Lyndon to here. So just if you could lower your laptop. Oh no.
Okay.
Or put on the headphones, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, try again now, Lyndon.
Try and start again. Way over here.
Okay,
go ahead.
Is that better?
Yeah. Okay. Go. Yeah.
Yeah, we all get passionate about a business, and I think you've got to realize that when you start a business, you're starting with good passion. But everybody's goal seems to be, or certainly 8 out of 10 people I speak to, is to make a lot of money, be millionaires, and the rest of it. Realize that your business is a commodity and an end game for you and your family. And once you look after you and your family, you then start looking after other people, which is, I fund scientists in cancer research, prevention, stem cell research. So it's about giving back as well. But realize your company, Doug, it's a commodity. It's there for a reason, and it's not there to fulfill your sort of emotions and hanging on to something. And if you have a business that is not going so well and you really feel you've tried your utmost to make it go well, you got to know when to cut and run, because otherwise it's going to dig yourself a hole.
Yeah, I think there's also another phenomenon that goes along with that. I happen to be kind of thrust out of college into the beginning of the PC age. And anything I did in the 80s sold. Didn't matter, because they were buying everything related to personal computers. And so I started doing interactive multimedia and kind of created that industry, actually. Wrote a couple of books on it and got all the major companies as clients. I didn't have to work very hard to have just a nice, solid, stable, successful business.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about growing a business or expanding it or anything else. I tried to raise money one time to my friends at the golf club, and they're all very wealthy guys. They were very successful, big shots from Marriott and all these things. Gave them a 2-hour presentation of how I was going to expand the business and be into different areas and this and that, whatever. And the guy who was one of the VPs of Marriott looked at me and said, you gave us a great presentation for 2 hours, and not once did you mention the word profit.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. But it's said Sam acknowledged, I said, are you making money? How much are you making? I'm going back to what you've identified as perhaps a weakness in yourself back then, I don't know now, which is sales. We are sales and marketing businesses. It doesn't matter what you're supplying or selling, we are sales and marketing. And with the benefit now of search engine, you can learn this stuff. If you want to Google or Yahoo, if they're still going, I don't know. But if you want to search something like direct response techniques on e-drops, you can read up on it and you could be an expert in 30 minutes. And you construct an e-drop. And this is the big thing with back on the mentors theme. That's all mentors do. It's just they're just smart enough to go there, do it, and then sell it to you as a product. You can learn so much.
Maybe there's a way to describe it better. Again, I've had to learn this through experience, and I wish I'd have known it 30 years ago. But there's a big difference between, as you said, being passionate, being able to sell your idea, and being able to be a salesman and grow a business.
Yeah,
I was always able to come up with a new idea, had enough technical skills to build a prototype, sell a few to prove it worked, And then it just sits there and flounders because I'm not a salesman. I'm not driven by margin and bottom line and closing deals and taking, how many. There's a woman we've known for years from old networking days who's a slogan called "Go for No." That's her whole market. Teaches you to go for no. The more no's you get every week, the more chances you have of actually succeeding. I can't even think that way. So
there is a degree of that, but if you're really no good at selling, you're just always going to get a no. Yeah.
Well, the mistake I made too, and I'll stop hogging the line, let somebody else online here, but is that I came up in the middle of the beginning, I should say, of the Steve Jobs and Wozniak days and Michael and Bill Gates days, and I wanted to be them. I wanted to be the king of everything, and I didn't realize early enough that if I'd have realized that I wasn't the salesman and gotten the right partners early on, I wanted to be the top technical guy, the creative visionary, the guy that ran the company, and that's just stupid. And I was in my 20s. It was easy to be stupid and get away with it. Didn't need much money and everything else. But then you get family obligations and mortgages, and you realize that stupidity doesn't pay as well. So
that's right. Yeah. But I guess the lesson, for anybody is realizing what your weakness is and getting someone to plug that gap, whether as an employee, as another shareholder, or the right kind of mentor to help plug that gap. If you're on your own and you have a product or service, you have to sell. If you're not up for selling, then you need to find someone who is to be a part of your business.
You said something very quickly there that's very critical. Another short anecdote I'll sell. So my business was interactive marketing and advertising. I say I created the industry. I did the first interactive CD-ROMs and things like that. And you used the word mentoring very quickly in there. I actually did do this. I sought out, near me there's a retirement community. And I went there and I sought out retired people who were ex-advertising industry executives. Yeah. And just bought them a coffee and sat down and talked to them. Didn't work as well as I wanted because traditional advertising, these guys are retired, so they were advertising execs in the 60s and 70s, which didn't really apply to new computer technology. But it was still a lot of lessons there that I wish I'd have gotten earlier. And these mentoring programs can be very, 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 I want to say profitable, successful if they're done right. So
well, there's some advice here for anybody, and that is, and this, I don't mean to sound egotistical, but guys and girls that are successful in brackets, because that's a different subject. We like a bit of ego rubbing, as we all do. And if you message somebody who's successful and pay them a few compliments, a little skill here, and just ask them for a coffee. You haven't got to pay for a mentor. You can get them.
Right.
You can get them. So massage you do a bit. Say, I've been following you. You've done really well, etc., etc., etc. Love to have a coffee. Could do with some help. I'll buy the coffee. Just half over your time.
Well, that's actually true. That's actually true. I told Lyndon he was gorgeous. I'm only joking. No, I actually.
I like to pick on his shoes. He loves those crazy shoes. I always compliment his shoes.
Yeah, love his shoes. Yeah, but I have to say, I found that it's all about how you make people feel as well. A lot of it, and I think on Twitter in particular, I find that it's about how you make people feel. And if you make someone feel good, it's like the quote, it's people will always remember how you made them feel. So if you make them feel good and you make them feel happy and calm in your presence, then they're probably going to want to spend time with you and have a coffee anyway, But there's some questions coming in here. Do you mind, lads, stay on there for a minute? Someone said, Roisin said, is the recommendation to hire a salesperson or try and perfect that skill, Lyndon?
Both. Bit of an easy answer or a typical answer, but you have to understand sales. You're in business to sell something. You're not in business to shuffle paper. So understand it at least. Do your research, and you'll build your confidence. You do a lot of networking events, and anybody that's a bit shy or a bit sort of insular, get out there and mix with a few people. Start building that confidence level, and you will build that by doing your own online research. That can be an insular thing, but you can learn the top strategies and sort of know-hows and the rest of it, and then get out and meet some people.
Well, that's what we're doing with the Women's Inspire Network, Lyndon. And Doug, I don't know if you know this, I've created a Women's Inspire Network. And what we do is these crowdcasts like this, and we have like someone that you can share your screen on these. So I have someone who might do tips on how to create graphics, tips on how to do email marketing, all those kind of things that we all need, and sales as well, sales tips. and we do webinars, and that's why I do that, and that's why we need to learn all these things. Like, and nobody teaches you these things. You have to kind of find out for yourself, or do a course, and then some of us can't get away because we take time off.
The number one thing I've seen in sales, and I do all my big deals. I design my own products in the insurance business. I do all of my own big deals. I don't delegate that. I do all the presentations and the lot, because one thing that is key when you're selling something or presenting is realize, don't be scared of the person on the other side. I don't care if they're chief exec of Microsoft. It really doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody has their own targets and their own things that they want to achieve. All right. And if you make it easy, or certainly help them achieve that, then you're going to get a deal done. All right. And I come across it time and time again. You know, people, certain companies are hungry for business. So I'll go and see them and show them how they can get more by using me.
Yeah.
Because they've all got that same driver, the same as all of us. We have targets, we have objectives. Sit in front of them and say, what's your objective? What's your target this year? How much are you looking to grow this year? And then show them how they can do it with you.
Yeah, excellent. That's it. Exactly. Yeah, they all want to make more profits, and they all have targets. Exactly. And that includes Microsoft, you know. So
everybody.
James said, as someone said to me once, his battery went dead, by the way. As someone said to me once, a business that is not going that well is like an old dog that might need to be put down. Sometimes we need to make hard choices. Lisa said, I'd like to know the same, Roisin, which was the one about the salesperson. Okay, learn how to do the sales. And Helena is here as well. Francis has said, Lyndon, any tips on how to get close to the decision makers?
Yes. Well, one, as I said, just email them. You know, another way, and this is a technique I use when I'm making complaints to big companies, which happens quite often. I search the company out on Companies House, and quite often you get the chief exec's home address, and then you write to them at home.
You don't send them flowers?
You can do what you want then.
Will you repeat that tip for everybody in case they missed it?
Yeah. You search the company on Companies House, and quite often you get the chief exec's home address on Companies House. And then you write to them or send them something if you want, flowers, like Doug said, at home. And the rationale for that is quite an obvious one. When you write to them at home, it doesn't get lost in amongst the office paperwork, and it's not the PA that is opening up the letters and binning it. And yeah, because a lot of, you know, top people like to share their knowledge. They generally like to share it. They're just busy. Yeah. Yeah, and they have gatekeepers, because especially in the spam world that we're in, we get shed loads of spam. You need to have a gatekeeper to stop you having to open up rubbish letters. But write to them at home or send them something at home has a different impact.
Well, I agree. And yes, sorry, Doug.
I'm saying marketers refer to that as breaking the noise barrier for years, right? So when we first started doing interactive marketing, I did the first floppy disk press kit for the film industry, for the movie Sneakers, for example. No one had ever seen that before, so everybody saw it. It had a tremendous response. But within 3 years, everyone was sending out floppy disk and CD-ROM based press kits. And so what you're talking about is it's a flip back the other direction. Everyone's online with social media and email and garbage all day long. So send a nice handwritten card in the post, and it's a totally different kind of an approach.
Completely. I mean, I use LinkedIn quite a bit as well. You know, you search people on LinkedIn, you get chief execs of all sorts of companies, or decision makers, or whatever. Also find out where they're going. Is it a dinner? Is it an event?
Yes.
Contact the organizers, you know, buy a ticket if you got to, and ask if you can sit on that table or certainly somewhere close to it.
Yeah. I've done that with Twitter, actually, Lyndon, just for people that are watching that might be on Twitter. I've gone to the event hashtag, and I've gone to see who's talking about the event before the event. And then if I see someone is going that's speaking at it and I want to get a selfie with them or whatever, I go to that event. And if I can't get a ticket, I volunteer. I volunteered at an event once, because they're always looking for volunteers. And if you're good on social media, you can say, well, look, I'll do the Snapchat for the day, or I'll do the Instagram for the day. And then I volunteered at many events because I had no money to buy the ticket, and got in that way, because then I was one of the team, and it was easier to get to them then. You know?
And it's just thinking in that manner. I mean, you know, when Doug started, when I started August 1990, we didn't have the internet. You know, it was yellow pages, it was direct mail, it was, you know, people think with all this technology, business has become a lot more complex. it's actually a lot easier because you can reach a whole world or the whole of the UK or the whole of Ireland at a click of a bloody button. Couldn't do that in 1990.
And we did a lot of direct mail, creative direct mail back then with fancy boxes and mailers and very expensive gadgets to ship people and all that.
Yeah.
But, I'm happy to jump off if you've got somebody else.
Doug.
Bring in.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Doug. And it's lovely to see you. And thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate that. Say goodbye and we'll see you in the comments. Helena's going to come on. So I'm going to, thanks, Doug. That was really nice of Doug to join us, wasn't it? And there you go. And Doug found out about this through a post we put up on Facebook. So please do be aware that if you see someone putting up something that's coming up or an event, share it. Because Doug only found out by mistake, I think, earlier, wasn't it, Lyndon, that you happened to mention it?
Earlier, just ahead of this as well. And it was, good. It works.
About a half an hour before this or something. Yeah, so there you go. So please do share each other's. Fiona's here. Fiona's just joined us from Marbella.
Excellent. Lyndon. I'm there tomorrow, Fiona.
Yeah. So I think it's Marbella, is it?
Marbella?
I think so. Helena, I've just invited as well. So yes, comment there, Fiona. Is it Marbella you live? I think it is. So she lives there. She's from the UK and she lives there and she does a lot of Facebook stuff and all. So Helena, you're incompatible, I'm afraid. You must be on your phone. Maybe I'll invite Fiona on, will I? Fiona, are you okay to come on air? That's nice, Tim. Tim said he always sends a handwritten thank you note for referrals, regardless of whether the client hires me or not.
There you go. Yes.
Lovely. Nice one, Tim. Yes, Marbella. Okay, thanks. Fiona, do you want to come on or anything? Or Helena, I'm going to try again, try and get you on screen, but it says incompatible. So it's probably just you need to go to Google Chrome. There's another one. Can you tell me, is cold emailing a bad tactic for initiating B2B contact, as I don't seem to be getting much response?
Well, the word of warning, in May 2018, there's the new GDPR rules come in about data protection, and that includes things like emails and texting and so on and so forth. And it means you have to get an explicit opted in you can't default the answer, yes, send me some rubbish on email. You have to get an explicit opted in message on there. Cold emailing, it's never a good thing, to be fair, because it's spam, bottom line, it's spam. So I would stop doing that because it probably does you more damage than good. And if you're getting no response from it, well, all you're getting is damage.
Yeah, Lisa, I would definitely, have a look. The Women's Inspire Network is great for that, as you know. I mean, you've joined in the hashtag. Also, start engaging with people like Lyndon on Twitter and start, maybe comment on one of his posts or retweet one of his tweets, and then you're on Lyndon's radar. Like, we do notice Lyndon, don't we? Like, even though we've so many followers, the people that always help us, we notice that.
Absolutely, ask me questions. I'm on Twitter, quite a bit, and I always reply to questions. So ask me questions.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're going to wrap this up because I think we've taken up enough of your time, Lyndon. Is there anything? Doug just says, I recently commented on an article and within 2 days, the author called me back.
Excellent. It works. Well,
it does work. It's all about people, isn't it, Lyndon? It's all about building relationships.
Absolutely. Don't be scared. Just put yourself out there. Yeah,
put yourself out there. And I have to say, Lyndon, I am so grateful to you for your time, and you are cool. You're a cool guy. The fact that we're doing this years later after we working for you just shows that he's a great boss as well. But honestly, he's a good guy, and let's all keep an eye on Lyndon and what he's up to, and maybe share his tweets out. Michelle says, thanks, Lyndon. Great to listen to you tonight and a great inspiration. Jackie said, thanks so much, learned so much. And Lisa also saying thank you there. And Francis, a pleasure to listen to you, Sam and Lyndon. Francis has a great online training for success. It's online. They do train the trainer courses and stuff like that. So maybe we'll follow later and see. And Debbie has said, thanks a mil. Geraldine says thanks, and everybody's saying thanks. Helena, cheers from Boston, Lyndon. There you go. You have a new fan there as well. And everybody, if you want to follow Lyndon on Twitter, it's at LyndonX. Put your Twitter handle in there. Gillian, lovely to see you as well. I'm going to wrap this up, folks, and I'm going to stop the broadcast because this is recording, and we will share out the replay later. And Lyndon, thanks a million, and we will catch up in London soon and have that cup of tea. Definitely. Right? I promise.
Everybody, pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.